in Islam, we never say that a messenger of God, because Abraham was a messenger of God, would sleep with a woman without being married with her. He has to be married. You can't be a messenger of God and have lewd sex. It's just not happening. But the Christian religion want to omit Hagar only because she was African. And not only was she African, she was really black too. She was just gorgeous. And she had the son. So when he took her to, in the Bible it mentions it as Becca. When he took her to Becca and he left, she wanted to know when he was coming back. And he said, Inshallah, God knows when I'm coming back. So she left, in the desert. That's the story of a lot of black women's lives. When you think about it, they always left with their children. The men always leave the women with the kids, but sticking with Hagar. She didn't know how she was going to survive. So she ran around the 7 times. She went up and down the hill. Everything we do in Mecca, that's what she did. And then God sprung up this well, and today it's called the Zamzam well. And she was so appreciative of that water that God gave her. She fell to her knees and she cuffed it. And when she cuffed the water, it was a good thing because God said if she didn't, it could have flooded the earth because this water never stopped running. It's a blessed well. It's called Zamzam, Z-A-M-Z-A-M, Zamzam. And so everybody wants that water because it's the blessed water. And so she built a whole city. Can you imagine that? An African woman built the whole city of Mecca. People don't know that. You want to take care of your soul. A lot of people don't believe in God because they feel like they can't see him. But I say, well, you can't see your soul, but you know it's there. You know your soul is there. So you're like, what can I do to protect my soul? So every day, I make a prayer. We got a morning prayer, but we make prayers besides the 5 times a day. My personal prayer is to always do something good. I set out my day to do good. Something's going to come along where you can do good for somebody else. As simple as pushing a buggy for somebody at the grocery store. Or you can see somebody, you have a thread hanging off. You can, what's the thread hanging? You can tear that off. Or give somebody, I can't hug a brother, but I can give a sister a hug. Tell her everything's going to be okay, because we don't know what somebody's going through. So, just loving mankind is what's important to me. So when I went through the court case that the sister set me up for it before I came up here, my neighbor said it couldn't happen to a better person. Of course, I beg to differ because they really went to my life from that moment all the way back to kindergarten, and it was awful. They dug up people that I hadn't saw since elementary school. But my mother was a devout Christian, and she really raised us to be good women. I had 6 sisters, and she really got on our nerves growing up. What kid don't have a problem with their mother growing up? But, I look back and I said, Alhamdulillah, which means all praises due to God. Alhamdulillah for my mother. My mother passed now. But alhamdulillah for her. Because she made sure that I did the right thing through my life. And she said if I was doing something wrong, do it in the house. Don't do it outside, because it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. See, today people don't have no morals for themselves. Whatever they want to do, or whatever they think they can do, or whatever they think they're big enough to do, they want to do it outside. They want to do it in front of everybody. Not only that, they want to put it on Facebook. And we looking at it going, can you believe I just saw that? So when they started digging into my life, the federal is the feds. You don't want the feds messing with you. They didn't leave a stone unturned. They got so angry that they couldn't find nothing on me. Where when the prosecutor, I think it was the prosecutor out of Lansing, she had got so angry at me that she told me I was living in a bubble. I couldn't believe she said that to me. I was like, I'm not living in a bubble. I'm living right here with you. And she tried to keep bringing up scenarios like, well, what if you go to the bank? You know, because it was about my clothes, by the way. Well, what if you go to the bank? I said, I go to the bank just like this. Well, what if you're grocery shopping? I mean, everything I do, this is how I look. I don't change. Because I consider myself like a tree. You know, I'm a blessing to everybody. And because God gave me these clothes can go everywhere. I don't have to change. I can go to a funeral. I can go out to dinner. I can go to a public meeting. I can come to a talk. You know, I don't have to change who I am to go somewhere. And she was angry about that. She wanted me to have to change. I'm like, for what? I mean, I work at the Easter Market every weekend. That's my job. I work at the Easter Market. I sell oils, lotions. I got a skincare line of my own. And I sell my skincare line just like this. Nobody don't care about how I look. It was them. So I just, you know, kept making prayer. They was following me around. It was just like, okay. I started kind of trying to make a joke out of it, like, if you need protection, you should hang out with me. Because I got the federal government following me around, CIA, everybody. So nothing is going to happen to you if you're hanging out with me. But I have to be able to live my life. We eat halal food, which means the meat is sacrificed in the name of God. Allah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, when they cut it across the jugular veins and the blood run out. My husband does that job. And the blood run out and then they skin it. And we have fresh food. Any impurities, you know, it's going to run out. A lot of the foods, a lot of the foods we see at the market is sitting in blood.
Yeah.
You know, when somebody go cook that, ugh. Do I eat at other people's houses? No. I just don't, because I know that they buying their food at the grocery market. So I can't eat that. I have to only eat blessed food. Not that I'm better than somebody, because, you know, when you become religious, God gives you knowledge. And when you get knowledge, you change. So when I got the knowledge of how to eat proper, then I refuse to go backwards. You know, that's like when you have a good husband, you refuse to go to something less. You got to get something better.
That's right.
Not that you're looking. We do. We love Jesus so much. It's in the Quran. We know his first and last name. His name is, in Islam, his name is Isa ibn Maryam, because he has the last name of his mother, Mary. Do we consider him the son of God? No, I know y'all already know the answer to that. We don't. Do we consider him a special birth? We do. And, you know, we have a story on him that when he was born, when Jesus was born, he spoke. He was a newborn baby talking. And the people wanted to get rid of him. They said, you know, this baby, there's something wrong with him. They wanted to get rid of him because he spoke God's word as a newborn. He told them that there's no God but God. And that you can't get to the Father unless you're going through me. And to follow the commandments. The same stuff. And they didn't want to hear that. So they kept being on the quest to kill him. In Islam, we don't believe that they killed Jesus. We believe that God took him up and that he get to come back and restore himself and his mother. Because people put them on plateaus that they don't belong on. You know, that's our belief. That he on plateaus that he don't belong on. And he get to clear his name. He get to come back and people going to be, Jesus, Jesus. And he not going to even recognize him. And he not going to know him because they don't know him like they're supposed to know him. And so I think the Bible do tell people that when he comes back, a lot of people he's not going to recognize. Is that in the Bible?
Yes.
And that's true through Islam. We call him Isa ibn Maryam. Because back then there was no J's. So, I don't know. I believe in the Quran. And so we love Jesus. And I'm calling him Jesus because I'm respecting you guys' religion. We love him. Matter of fact, I get mad over Jesus. You know, people be disrespectful. I just saw pictures. You know, I don't know what Jesus looked like. But they're so disrespectful. They got all these pictures of him with blonde hair. Long blonde hair. He got on like clothes, you know, more better than mine. Pink and orange. I'm like, Jesus didn't wear pink and orange. That's so disrespectful. Yeah, do I want to tear that picture down when I see that? I do. because I just feel like it's disrespecting Jesus. God said, yes, you can have 4 wives. 4. Most men can't handle 1. So God said, but it's better to have 1. What's the cases where a man can have more than 1 wife? During times of war, where a lot of men get killed, and these women are left with children, and there's nobody there to take care of them, but he has to be able to afford it. So that's the key word to that. It's a lot of women, they just think that a man can just go out and get another woman. And then on top of that, she has to be a godly woman. She don't have to necessarily be Muslim, but she has to be like that Christian woman I was explaining about earlier. The one who you can go and talk to, and because she loves God, and she gonna make sure everybody knows that she loves God. She's not afraid to be a Christian. So she has to be a person that loves God, because he gonna keep God first. That's his job. Because once he loses that, then he loses everything. Be able to provide for her, maintain for her the same way he's doing for me. I can't have no more than what she has. If I got a new car, she should have a new car. If I got a big house, she should have a big house. If I got all new clothes, she should have new clothes. We shouldn't be different, and he shouldn't treat us different. Because if he do that, then he's out of order with God. So God married, we have a thing called like a contract in Islam. And my contract was that he has to make sure that he make it easy for me to be a Muslim woman. Don't try to come between me and God. I was already dressed like this, by the way, because a lot of people think, we don't be dressed like this before we get married. But I was already dressed like he had to pay me to see me. A lot of women just show it for free. But he had to pay me to see me. And if he didn't like me, then I got to keep the money. I still got to keep, the money that I asked for. So I had asked for $5,000. I know y'all wanted to know like how much money they
Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
And the brother had $5,000 too. He had on some old dirty gym shoes, and his clothes was clean. You wouldn't think he had the money, but he did have it. And when I showed him myself, I already knew he was going to marry me. Though. I wasn't worried about that. So he married me. We can't make Muslims. You know how people, they go around and try to convert people into Christianity. We go all the way to Africa for that. They've been doing that, since slavery. But do Muslims do that? We don't. We don't go around and say, you should be a Muslim. How do you become a Muslim? God chooses you. You can only be a Muslim if God chooses you. You have to be chosen by God. You handpicked. To tell you that right in the Quran. I chose this religion for you. That's how you become Muslim. And once he chooses it for you, you take the Shahada, a declaration, and then you start trying to live your life as a Muslim. And it's different levels of Muslims, because everybody don't study every day. Everybody don't pray every day. Everybody not praying 5 times a day. But if you love God, even as a Christian, you're going to do what it takes to be that better Christian. So as a Muslim, God chooses you to become a Muslim, you got to do what it takes to be a good Muslim. In whatever position you're in, you should be happy and satisfied.